NSDC's eSkill India has joined hands with American India Foundation for enhancing employability skills and providing career guidance to college students through its course Essential Employability Skills for Indian Youth. You can follow 4 simple steps to enroll in this course. Step 1. Log in or register yourself on eSkill India portal. To enroll in the course, click on the above banner on eSkill India portal. The banner will appear on the eSkill India main page. In case banner is in motion or not visible, you can click on the corporate training button available to reach the NSDC AIF training program. If you have registered yourself before, you can log in and continue. But if you are a new user, click on sign up, fill all the details. You will need to verify your phone number or email ID. Once verified, click on I agree to terms and conditions. You have now completed the registration process. Now you can log in and enroll in the course. Step 2. Enter coupon code. After you have logged in, enter the coupon code and click submit. Step 3. Select course and language. The course is available in 2 languages. To do the course in English, click here. Kindly remember, you will not be able to change the language of the course after enrollment. Select the language of the course carefully. Click on Enroll. Click on OK. Step 4. Go through all the modules and clear the final exam to earn any certificate. After completing all the lessons in each module, you will have to give final assessment. Completing the final assessment is mandatory to complete the course and earn certificate. To give final exams, click on Final Exam. Each candidate will be given 3 attempts to clear the exam or improve the final score. The best score out of the 3 would be displayed on e-certificate. Now click on Quizzes. Click on Take Quiz and complete the quiz.
Okay. A very good morning to one and all present here. My name is Arsha Francis, and I will be your host for today's Career Guidance and Employability Skill Workshop. On behalf of University of Mumbai's Garware Institute of Career Education and Development in association with American India Foundation and Dell Technologies, we have organized the Career Guidance and Counseling Program. And on behalf of our director, Dr. Shivram Garje, and our assistant director, Shilpa Bolkar ma'am, I would like to welcome you all to this workshop. We would also like to express our gratitude to the principal, Dr. Suresh Nair, and the career mentor, Jackson Nadar sir, for giving us the opportunity to organize this workshop for you all. I would now call upon the principal of Vivek College, Dr. Suresh Nair, to come and say a few words.
Good morning. Thank you. First of all, I would like to welcome you and your team for conducting this type of a career seminar for our students. I don't know why the student number is less today. This will be 11th standard, and 11th standard lectures will be starting from 1 o'clock. That is why I have kept it at 11 because they should not lose their timing also, because already we have started late and we have finished a lot of portions. So, students, this will be a very good interaction session. She will be first taking you all the possible careers, not only with, I think, not only with the University of Mumbai and Garware Institute. She will give you a plethora of career options in general, and you can just think of what career you can have it after 12th. This is 11th, and one more year you'll have to be there with the junior college, and then later on you can, by this time you can decide in which career you would like to go. Accordingly you can plan it, and you may have to give for the exam and all the things. So all the details will be given by madam. So without wasting much time, once more I welcome all the students as well as the Garware Institute team for this, and I would like to thank from on behalf of Vivek Education Society and on my personal behalf and on behalf of my staff that you are arranging this career program today. So welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suresh Nair, sir. So now I would start our presentation. So I would like to give a brief presentation on career guidance and employability skills, and about the courses which are offered by our institute. So I'll just share my screen. So a very warm welcome to everybody present here. So first of all, I would, um, ask you all to applaud for yourselves that, you all have seriously taken a step ahead to think about your career, and you have come and been a part of this workshop. And now I would like to give a little introduction to this. So when we usually think, when we grow up, we want to become an engineer, a doctor, or else we want to become a teacher. And as we start growing, we start realizing that there are so many other opportunities as well. We start exploring and understanding other things. And we also, then later on we started, thinking of, there are banking jobs. We start going to the banks. We understood that there are banking jobs. um, started getting exposed to our surroundings and situation, and we realized there are so many opportunities we have, and what we are doing today is taking you a step further towards understanding a little bit more and giving you a kind of support you require in terms of guidance. So why we are at a juncture, where we are at a juncture where we want to understand what is career and what are we supposed to be doing. And there are so many things people keep telling you, right? So we are here to give you guidance. So now I will be talking about Project Future Ready. Now, this is the project which was developed for to make better workforce in India. Dell Technologies, in partnership with American India Foundation, National Skill Development Corporation, and University of Mumbai, has launched Project Future Ready to equip the workforce with career skills. The project aims to provide skill development for students through career mentoring, leveraging online skilling platform, and providing marketing aligned skills training for employability, and inculcating entrepreneurial mindset. So if you see that AIF has impacted around 7 million lives across 26 states of India. Now we come to the main part, is the career planning. Now, can anybody unmute and tell me the difference between a job and a career? Anyone? You can just give it a try. Anyone can try and give me, tell me the difference between a job and a career. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Okay. Nobody? All right. So I will explain the difference between a job and a career. So basically, a job is a work you perform to earn money to support your basic needs. So आप जॉब के लिए जाते हो, एंड फॉर योर डेली रोजगार के लिए आप पैसा कमाते हो. दैट इज अ जॉब. But what is a career? A career is a long-term professional journey you may determine based on your passions. It is the path you embark upon to fulfill your professional goals and ambitions. So career is something based upon your interest. आपको क्या पसंद है, and उसको आप और निखारते हो. You make it more better. You polish it and make it better. And choosing a career is unquestionably one of the most important decisions you'll ever make, and it impacts just about every facet of your life. So I'll just go to the previous slide. Career planning basically has 4 components: self-assessment, career exploration, getting focused, and action plan. So we must explore our area of interest and our passions. So, now you all are in class 11. Start thinking, where your interest lies, and where your strengths lies, in order to know which job, later on which job profile will suit you the best. So hence self assessment is very important part of career planning. Based on self assessment, you can discover various educational training, various opportunities, and following industrial trends that suit best to your personality and interest. So don't think one dimensional, explore and think of different career options, which you will like also. you know think of something a little different, which is not that known, but it's also very prominent, and that is why in the later part of the presentation, we will be talking about the skill based courses offered by our institute, which you would be getting to know. And for any plan to work out, it is utmost important that we remain focused and take appropriate action towards our goal. And to begin, never underestimate the importance of internships. Gain experience. You must gain as much experience you can with have you all heard of LinkedIn? Anybody? LinkedIn, जैसे हमारे सोशल नेटवर्किंग प्लेटफॉर्म होता है. Yes, anybody? Okay. So like I was just saying, how we have our social media platforms. LinkedIn is a business networking platform where it's very easy to connect with the employers, and it also makes very life easy, where we can track every possible thing of what is going on in the industry and where your interest lies in. So it's very important that you make your profile on LinkedIn and start understanding what is the trend in the industry, what's going on. Coming to the career mentoring test. So I believe you have been told about the career mentoring test. So my colleague Sanyukta, she will be putting the career mentoring test link on the chat box. Please do fill it up. So if you take it's a psychometric test. See, nowadays we see when interviews take place, a personality test is always taken. They want to see whether to see how is your temperament, whether your personality works with the job profile. And this psychometric test basically comprises of a personality test and an interest test. So while you take the test, you will get a report. So if you give the test today, it will take around approximately a week or so for your report to come. But once you give the test and you see your report, you will understand where your strength, where your weaknesses lie, and accordingly you can decide for your future career options. So that will definitely help you in understanding where your strength and weakness lie, and your aptitude and capabilities are. So start working towards gathering a lot of certificates that can highlight your resume and CV. And one such program which is being offered to you by us is by American India Foundation in terms of employability skills for Indian youth, is this National Skill Development Corporation e-skill program. So now my colleague will also be putting a registration link on the chat box. Please do fill up the registration link. So if you fill up the registration link, you will get the link for the career mentoring test. In case you haven't filled it here, you will get it on your registered email ID. You will get an e-certificate for taking part in this workshop, and you will get a NSDC coupon code. Now, with this NSDC coupon code, how do you register for this program? I will show you a short video.
NSDC's eSkill India has joined hands with American India Foundation for enhancing employability skills and providing career guidance to college students through its course Essential Employability Skills for Indian Youth. You can follow 4 simple steps to enroll in this course. Step 1. Log in or register yourself on eSkill India portal. To enroll in the course, click on the above banner on eSkill India portal. The banner will appear on the eSkill India main page. In case banner is in motion or not visible, you can click on the corporate training button available to reach the NSDC AIF training program. If you have registered yourself before, you can log in and continue. But if you are a new user, click on sign up, fill all the details. You will need to verify your phone number or email ID. Once verified, click on I agree to terms and conditions. You have now completed the registration process. Now you can log in and enroll in the course. Step 2. Enter coupon code. After you have logged in, enter the coupon code and click submit. Step 3. Select course and language. The course is available in 2 languages. To do the course in English, click here. Kindly remember, you will not be able to change the language of the course after enrollment. Select the language of the course carefully. Click on Enroll. Click on OK. Step 4. Go through all the modules and clear the final exam to earn any certificate. After completing all the lessons in each module, you will have to give final assessment. Completing the final assessment is mandatory to complete the course and earn certificate. To give final exams, click on Final Exam. Each candidate will be given 3 attempts to clear the exam or improve the final score. The best score out of the 3 would be displayed on e-certificate. Now click on Quizzes. Click on Take Quiz and complete the quiz.
This was the NSDC program, which was shown to you, the video. So what is this program basically? So the NSDC program has modules, which is for 5 hours, in which certain skills like how to handle a customer, communication skills, digital literacy, and many such modules will be available. And after finishing this, you will receive a certificate.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes.
मिस वो जो फॉर्म है उसमें 12th का भी पूछ रहा था, अभी तो हम लोग 11th में है ना सर?
No, I mean it's irrespective of any age or anything. You can take part in this program.
Okay.
So and if you are in class 11, you can definitely take part in this NSDC skill program, and this will definitely help you. You can highlight it in your CV also that you have proper employability skills. When you go for any interview, you can definitely showcase that.
Okay.
So yeah, so I will be now talking about a few employability skills shortly. Okay, so can you see this picture on the screen? What do you see the picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what do you see in this picture?
A bridge on the river.
Okay, and why do we build bridges? What is the purpose of building a bridge? Anyone? Nobody?
Also, if you want to write your answers in the chat
Yes,
box, you
yes.
can do it.
Sayukta, is there anything? I'm sharing my screen, so I'm not able to check my chat. Is there anything in the chat box?
No, not yet.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'll only say it. So, like, if you see that bridges are normally built. We generally build bridges to cross an obstacle like a valley or a river, right? Or a small water body, right? But what problem do you find in this image? Anyone? What is so different in this image? Anybody? Nobody is wanting to say anything in the chat box? At least you can put it in the chat box if you don't want to unmute. It's basic. It's visible on the screen. So do you notice?
Nivedita Rao is saying it's not on the river.
Yes. Right? The bridge is not on the river. Yes. Yes. Right? So there's a short story to this. So this bridge was, actually this bridge was, properly, built over a river. Okay. And that river was called River Choluteka, which is in Honduras, South America. But what happened once, this place is very prone to hurricanes. What happened? So the river was all, the bridge was properly built upon the river Choluteca. But one such hurricane just came and just changed the course of the river. So the bridge is lying here and the river course has changed. This is what the image shows. So can anybody try to interpret what is the message this picture is trying to give? What message does this give us? What do we understand from it? What do you understand from the river actually changed its course? Okay. Did you know that the pandemic would occur with the situation of lockdown? No, right? So the bridge is like a foundation. Okay, this is your base, and things keep changing across and around it. And what we need to do, we have to adapt. And this bridge can only be useful if it is extended, and then only we can cross, right? So now you all are studying in class 11, and whatever was taught to you feel now is relevant. But 10 years after, whatever you study will definitely be relevant. But apart from that, you would have learned many more things, and that you have added to your learning. And that is what this picture is trying to say, is that change is the only constant, and what we need to do is adapt to change, and we need to bring about changes so that we can keep pace with time, isn't it? We can change the environment, but we can't change ourselves. So now I will define what is employability. And employability can be defined as a set of achievements, skills, understanding, and personal attributes that make someone more likely to gain employment and be successful in their chosen occupation, which benefits themselves, the workforce, the community, and the economy. And employability skills are the core skills and the traits needed nearly in every job. So now y'all are in class 11. Now very soon you will finish your schooling, and maybe you may join any place for a work or internship, or maybe even after graduation. Just keep in mind some of these employability skills which we will be discussing right now, which is very important when you join any workplace. So we see a report by Deloitte Access Economics, and they consider that 2/3 of all jobs by 2030 will be made up of soft skills. So what do you mean by soft skills? Your communication skills, how you're presentable, how you're presenting in front of your colleagues, and how you know um, um, how ethical, and you have values, and how you present yourself. And these occupations are developing and emerging, and this is the key. And further, we will be talking about some of the important employability skills. First is adaptability and flexibility. So an ability to be flexible and adapt to change is vital, because aap chaho ya na chaho, whether you like it or not, change will be a big part of the new era of work. And employers are increasingly looking for people who can move out of their comfort zone and see change as an opportunity for growth and innovation, right? So through the pandemic, you've likely faced and overcome the new adversities and challenges that you didn't foresee. And you should take time to, introspect and, think, that, what, how you have, what I would say is like, come over, all these months, and, adapted yourself very beautifully. So try and introspect to that, and you can think about that in that mindset and use it in your workplace as well. Emotional intelligence and communication skills. So communication and emotional intelligence is a very significant skill you need to have. You should be aware of the emotional intelligence skills, where you should demonstrate empathy. So show that you care towards your colleagues when you're working in a workplace. Just don't get involved in your own work. Take initiative and ask your colleagues whether they are fine, whether they're okay, do they need any help. And that shows also you're taking leadership also. And it can make everyone feel like a team and increase productivity, morale, and loyalty. And having a good communication skill is an essential tool in achieving productivity and maintaining strong working relationship at all levels of organization. And this has been particularly important since the outbreak of pandemic has forced many people to work from home. So clarity in emails, virtual meetings is a must to cement trust and retain high productivity levels. And a leadership style can make everyone feel like a team and increase more productivity, morale, and loyalty. And all this goes hand in hand with teamwork and collaboration. So we see that the basic mantra of today's business is that we have to collaborate. And in recent times, we see that a lot of organizations are collaborating to achieve what they aim at. So efficiency is an essential part of a team and an important aspect of workplace. All team members on an organization work towards a goal, and working in a team in collaboration, so if you work with each other, you will learn from with each other, you know their strength, and you can imbibe a little bit what they are doing. And it will give it give you opportunity to learn from each other's success and failures. So when you have competent and experienced people in your team, you will undergo a better problem solving approach, and you can develop these skills. So now when all this is there, again it's connected to leadership. Now a leader is not only a good team player, but also plays a vital role in building and leading the entire team, right? A leader brings लीडर के कंधे पे बहुत रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज रहता है, from creating a positive work culture, leading by example, and delivering results. So amount of leadership skills is very important when you join a workplace. You will understand how your how to work in a team, how to take initiatives, decision making. So your team success will depend on the leaders capacity to plan, manage, and make difficult decisions, and much more. And to be a successful leader, it is important to cultivate your leadership skills. As I said, start working on it, thinking how you can in small ways take up initiatives. And it's important that you acquire these skills. And with time and experience, you can then develop your very own leadership style which works for you in your team and business. Next we come to time management. So अक्सर देखा जाता है, we say that हम बाद में करेंगे, we will procrastinate our work, and we'll decide to do it later. But this will not be entertained at a workplace, because time is money, and effective time management skills can have a positive impact on your work and life in general. And when you learn to take control of your time on daily basis, you improve your ability to get things done, right? So don't just get involved only in your work. Set aside a time for relaxation time, do some deep breathing, meditation, relax yourself. And take out time for your family members. So go on a holiday, have a proper recreation time with them as well. So you maintain a proper routine, have your meals on time. That is very important. So time management is just not about managing your work, but it's also managing your personal and professional life properly. So that is very important. When we come to stress management, see, stress is common and unavoidable in the workplace. We see present day jobs are highly insecure, full of challenges and high expectations and demands, which causes a lot of stress at workplace. So, बहुत pressure दिया जाता है. You have to complete your deadlines, commitments you have to achieve, and you're under high pressure. So it is important that you find techniques to deal with stress management. Without some amount of stress, you won't be very productive. So a small amount of stress is good in the workplace, but 100% stress free workplace, I don't think that is that's not that good. So a little amount of stress you should keep with you, so that can push you to achieve your goals. So to manage this effectively, eliminate the negative stress, and work towards a good stress which will help you reach your goal. So needless to say that today everything has become digital. the popularity of digital workplace is growing due to the health concerns with pandemic. So you need to be up to date with all the skills of digital communication and latest technologies and online platforms for video conferencing and your meetings. Otherwise, I think it is going to become very difficult to work, in the current times if you don't know how to, um, handle the digital platform. Now, when we come to data literacy, now it's said that data is the king. Without data, an organization cannot function, and in a world increasingly powered by data, data literacy is as important as literacy itself. And an organization's ability to succeed will definitely be dependent on its employers and their ability to learn the new language. So whichever place you are working, you have to know the data properly, so that you can make your future decisions properly with regard to wherever you for your respective organization, if wherever you're working, and you will learn to understand the data very well, grasp it very well, and help you to make better decisions and adding weight to your arguments. So this whole program is brought to you by American India Foundation, and they are into social and economic development and change in India, and they work towards livelihood employment generation, and this project is in association with Dell Technologies. So when we now talk about certain job application skills, you know I would I would just like to give an example. Say suppose you plan to go for a movie with your friends. So what do you start doing? You start planning about which movie you want to see, what are the show timings, which theater, with whom you want to go to see. But have you put in that much of effort in thinking and planning about your career? No, right? I mean, now start thinking about your career, start thinking what are your skills, and think of polishing them up. How do you use your qualification? How do you say that I am the one you are looking for, I am the best person you should be hiring? So if you take the psychometric test, you will get definitely a better picture about your interest and your personality, or the field you plan to work in. You may think that you're good at this, but maybe the psychometric test tells that you're good at this place. So you get a better understanding that where your interest lies, strength lies, and accordingly you can take up a job which you like, right? So whether the job you are thinking you should be taking, but the psychometric test says this is not the place where your aptitude lies in. So accordingly you can make a better decision. So it's necessary to present your best skills as there's a lot of competition going on. So now when we come to resume, now resume is a very vital part wherever you go for your interview. So making resumes and CV, knowing how to present them is very important. How do you put yourself in the best possible way? Aapka resume may sound very amazing on the paper, but in the interview, if you're not able to speak about yourself, then what's the use, right? So I will be playing a short video which will show you how to write a resume.
It is common when joining the workforce or changing a career to have little or no experience in the job you want, and this can make it especially difficult to write a resume. Even if you have never had a formal job, you can still reflect in your resume on any life experiences you may have had. It is important to make sure your resume is creative, it is different, it reflects you, and it stands out to employers. Here's how to do just that. There are many ways to structure your resume. Have a think about what your layout will be like to make it stand out. Remember, the key is to keep it simple. Good fonts to use are Times New Roman or Arial, with the size set to 11. Headings should be bold, because it's easier to read and stands out. And avoid using too much color, as it draws attention away from the information, which is the most important part. Employers want to know what you can bring to their business. The summary statement is your resume's elevator pitch. It should tell employers who you are, what you want from the job, and what you can offer to the organization or business. This should all sit at the top of your resume and be 2 or 3 sentences in length. Here is an example.
I have a background in office management and have proven interpersonal and communication skills. I'm good at working in a team in a fast-paced environment. I'm seeking the opportunity to use these skills as the office assistant at your company.
A good summary statement will clearly sum up what you are like professionally and introduce you to a prospective employer. It's the first thing a potential employer will see on your resume, so make sure your summary statement is strong. Employers love it when you include that you have skills to do certain tasks. So, brainstorm. Think about the times you've applied transferable skills to your everyday life. Do you meet deadlines for projects at school? This is an example that you are dedicated and motivated. Are there any times in your life when you created a to-do list to accomplish something? This is an example that you are organized and prioritize your tasks and requirements. Other skills you may be able to include are communication skills, listening and writing skills, people skills, compassion, confidence, and motivation. So, what sets you apart from others? Why are you awesome? Have you taken part in any extracurricular activities? Perhaps you played soccer and helped your team score goals. Or you're in a netball team that won a grand final. These are great examples of times when you've worked well in a team. If you're currently at school or have recently finished studying, use this to think of some more transferable skills which you can include in your resume. Even if you are still in high school, you can think about the classes you have chosen to study. Why did you choose them? And what have you learned from them?
So you have got an idea right now, like, what are the, as points you should keep in mind while writing a resume. So that I hope will help you, in your future resumes whenever where you're writing and training it. I'll just share my screen. Now, I will be talking about our institute. University of Mumbai's Garware Institute of Career Education and Development is located in university campus. So if you come to Kalina, definitely do visit us. And we are, into skill-based education. Education that will give you the impetus to work better in the organization and industry. So we have undergraduate diploma programs, and we have undergraduate bachelor degree programs in various fields. So I would now talk a little in detail about each program and give you orientation about what it is, so you can get a better idea. And my suggestion would be, just don't think one dimensional, think a little beyond it. There are so many career options, and there's and our institute is there to give you training and guidance. And we also give you placement also with regard to whichever industry you feel you can join, and your interest is, explore your interest, see what you like. So coming to our undergraduate bachelor's degree program, the first program that we have is BMS in retail management. So all the bachelor's degree program is of 3 years, and it has around 6 semesters. Now, talking about retail management, we see the retail sector in India is on a rise, and there is an acute demand for trained professionals from the best retail management colleges in Mumbai and other parts of the country in this field. there is a wide scope for growth as the number of retail chains and retail outlets, shopping malls, super stores, luxury brand outlets, etc., increasing in a constant fast rate in a present time in the market, that has resulted in development of new field of career for youngsters. And the retail management course in our institute, they impart in-depth knowledge of retailing, develop skills and competence to handle the responsibilities in retail sector effectively and efficiently, and also to be, to prepare, to be competent, to qualify as per the national skill qualification framework through the National Skill Development Agency, NSDA. And talking about the fee structure, it would be around 1,22,000. um, uh, you can think about retail management. Talking about paint technology, so paint industry is expanding as fast at a fast rate. Production of paint, pigment, and resins has increased manifolds. Um, and job positions start from supervisors in manufacturing, quality control, executive technicians, and techno commercial executives. And for these courses, you just need to have a HSC or equivalent examination, and there would be a written test followed by an interview. So most of these bachelor courses, you would have a written test followed by interview, and a degree of HSC or equivalent examination. Now travel, BMS in travel and tourism management. So how many of you all love traveling? I'm sure everybody loves to go on a holiday, and if you want to join the back end of arranging holidays and tours, and you would like to join the travel industry by joining maybe the airlines or the cruise, or maybe a travel agency, you get a chance to travel the world as well. So travel and tourism industry is vibrant, committed to service and excellent professionalism, and our institute is running this travel course since the inception. So this is one of the iconic courses in our institute. And as more and more people travel for business and leisure, the industry has a demand for well-trained service sector and professionals for the best tourism management colleges in Mumbai. And the industry requires people who can deal, competently with a wide range of activities, and who possess the knowledge, skills, and attributes required by the industry. So job opportunities, as I said, you can work with travel agencies, tour operators, travel portals, or maybe a cruise, or airlines. So there are a variety of opportunities for tourism. So as I said that it's a 3 years full-time course, most of the bachelor courses, which has 6 semesters, and the fees for this would be around 1 lakh approx. Then we come to bachelors in jewelry design and innovation technology, right? um, the course at the undergraduate level is specially designed to teach you aspects of jewelry designing. The globalization has expanded, and industry operations, thus leading to demand for trained professionals. And here at Garware Institute, we conduct undergraduate and even postgraduate levels to suit the needs of the industry. And the course combines practical skills and management aspects to training and more effective. And it's comprehensive, yet a compact course, and the jewelry sector has opened new career opportunities for young professionals who can make their career by obtaining the training. And the opportunities of employment are enormous, and the door to new global trend. And the jewelry designing course in Mumbai opens, and our institute open up opportunities in jewelry manufacturing, marketing, back office, retail and export houses, merchandisers, you can become sales managers, production managers, marketing managers, senior product development officers, and you can even become an entrepreneur. So jewelry designing is something, now if you see, we have so many of these uh, pageants, and also if you see a lot of weddings, the bridal jewelries are you can design, and if you do, I'm sure if you do this course, I mean, if you have a liking for jewelry and the stones and pearls and things like that, you can definitely get into this course. The fees for this would be approximately of around 4 lakhs. So that is there. Next, we come to Bachelors of Interior Design. Now, what do we say interior design? Home decoration. How would you like to decor your home? You've seen so many celebrities, like Gauri Khan, who's is a known interior designer. She's designed house for so many celebrities, and if you have a knack for home decoration, what curtains, what upholstery you want to put, how, if you have good idea about color combinations for home decoration, I'm sure you can explore this course. So society today has become quite aware about the aesthetics and beautiful way of living the life. So accordingly, people are conscious of getting, they want to have a good bungalow or apartment or offices designed, um, with lot of creative and funky ideas and decorative ideas. And interior designers are there. If you become an interior designer, you can come up with creative ideas in helping people set up their house, their offices. So job opportunities could also be like it's not only to home and office. It can also be a set designer or a event management, how you're designing the whole venue, and site supervisor, or you can even get into freelancing. And for this to be eligible to join this course, you should be having a HSC with 50% marks from any stream, and preference will be given to candidates who have passed intermediate drawing grade examination and candidates having good flair for freehand sketching. So if you have passed if you've done a course in Garware, if you do a course, you will be considered eligible for the admission for in semester 4 of bachelor's degree in the interior design. And the last 5 year students of the course interior design are also permitted, and there will be a entrance test and interview, and the fees for this would be around 2 lakhs. So when we come to BMS in customs clearance and freight forwarding logistics, we see that custom and freight forwarding is very important component of the commercial sector. This is an increasing demand for personnel in the field of international trade and logistics. In view of this, our institute plans to introduce 3 years full-time bachelor in customs clearance and freight forwarding and logistics. And the content of the program are specially designed and well to the great interest of those who wish to take up a career in this field. So if you like this course, you can definitely take up. And it's a 3 years full course, and the fees for this would be around 1,56,000. So now these were some of the undergraduate bachelor degrees. I would like to explain some more. So if you see here in the additional courses, we have some more undergraduate courses. So now bachelor's in sports management. So did you ever think you could take up a there's a undergraduate course in sports management? No, right? Today we see that sports industry in India is growing by leaps and bounds. From a situation where India was primarily a cricket playing nation, playing only tests and one-day internationals, we see now IPL and Pro Kabaddi League and ISL football and badminton, hockey, so many sports. Mumbai, Delhi marathons, and the explosive growth in sports has led to a huge jump in the need of sports management professionals in allied industries, like for famous sports franchises, for like Mumbai Indians, or for sports goods, like Nike, Reebok, and sports federations. Then consumer goods like Bajaj, Colgate, who are the brand association and sponsors for these sports events. So you could also become celebrity managers who will manage the careers of upcoming sports personalities. So you could give them their, you can mentor them, give them their career, you can mentor and give them guidance and, manage their day-to-day work. So sports events and facility managers who will assist in the smooth running of the various events. So if you have seen the web series called Inside Edge, you would have definitely seen that there were people who were assisting the cricketers, the cricket teams in their daily routine, their daily work, analyzing the sports events, and so there's definitely a scope for people who for you if you like sports. Therefore we are International Institute of Sports Management decided to enter with Garware in sports management, and now we offer graduate course in association with Mumbai University. And the basic objective is to equip this equip you all with methods, practices, and techniques of sports management, and maintain make you all attain necessary knowledge and skills to be a successful sports management professional. Okay, so now there are a few criteria to get admission for this course. So HSC in any stream, that is there, and minimum required percentage is at the HSC is 50% for applicants belonging to general category. Minimum required percentage at the HSC is 45% for applicants belonging to reserved category. And so carefully listen the admission procedure. So step 1 is SMET test, okay, entrance test. And so this is what is SMET? Sports Management Admission on Test. So it is an official entrance exam for applying for sports management at IISM. The test is created for students for any educational and geographical background who have keen interest in sports and have the desire to make career in sports management. So that is the first entrance test which you should give and clear. And the second one is CASELET, which is a set of information that will be given to you in a paragraph form, and you need to arrange the information and put it in a proper way and solve the questions. So they would like to see your logical reasoning and skills. So if and definitely there'll be an interview. So if you clear all this, then definitely there's the Bachelor of Sports Management, which I feel is a very good course which you can join. And it's a 3 years full course which has 6 semesters, and the fees would be for around 7 lakhs. So do think about this course. Next, we come to BMS in Capital Management, which is a 3-year course, and the fees would be around 4 lakhs, 24,000. And the main objective of this course is to increase efficiency of participants associated with capital market and to enable them to keep pace with the environment. So the duration, as I said, was 3 years, and the syllabus is divided into 6 semesters. And the job opportunities which you can find in this course is being a financial analyst, research analyst, fund accounting, equity data, management analyst, process associate. Okay. Now we coming to our multimedia courses. So Garware has a variety of multimedia courses, beginning with animation. So we have a 3 years full-time course in animation. So India is one of the most preferred outsourcing countries. We not only do outsourcing services, we are also creator of original animation. Some of the popular original contents, if you know, like I'm sure you must be knowing, Chhota Bheem, Little Krishna, Arjun, Delhi Safari, Roadside Romeo. And animation is a combination of entertainment and technology. So our aim of this program is to make you all self-reliant and equip like you all with the artistic approach and technical knowledge, mastering the tools as well as the concepts of animation, so that you can make a mark in the global world of animation. So what are the job opportunities you can see if you want to join animation course? You could become a pre-production artist, a storyboard artist. So you must, you should be good at drawing and sketching, layout artist, 2D animator, texturing artist, modeler, character animator, 3D VFX artist, lighting artist, rendering artist, production co-coordinator. So there is so much in animation which you can explore. And the eligibility is definitely HSC with the minimum 45% marks, and English as a compulsory subject at least up to class 12. And you will have an online test followed by an interview. And the total fees for this is approximately around 1,56,000. So, and also you also get a refundable deposit of uh, rupees 1 lakh. So you can think of taking up in animation. Our next course in animation is screenwriting. So if you have a flair for writing, you love writing scripts and like writing stories, I'm sure this course is something which you can look out for. So our well structured program covers screenwriting from case studies, evolution of Indian cinema, how well a structured script should be, what is a story. So you'll be taught all this, how a screen revolves around a script, how to break the script story into a script, what is the art of storytelling, what is the director's role in a film. So if you are very fascinated by script writing and film and cinema, you can think about joining and exploring this course. And other things which will be taught to you is how to write an exciting screenplay. So if you've heard in movies um, about screenplay, so you'll be taught how to write a screenplay for a film. Dialogue writing, for characters. So jobs are very, so you can become a creative writer, content developer, or a blog writer, corporate, you can even join in corporate communication also. And you can also become a story writer, screenplay writer, dialogue writer. And basic is the same as I mentioned for the animation course, that you have to have English as compulsory till class 12, and minimum of 45% marks HSC, and you will have an online test with an interview. And it's a 3 years full-time course. And next in the multimedia is visual effects. So we see that the field of cinema is rapidly changing with the advent of 2D and 3D stereoscopic. The way way of looking and experiencing film is altering. Now most of the films you see on a big scale, especially Hollywood films and all are on VFX. And VFX has grown tremendously in the past decade because of the onslaught of the new changing technology. Visual effects is also used in gaming and movies and television shows. And as I mentioned that with the advanced technology, Hollywood and Bollywood uses VFX to create overwhelming effects and realistic environments. And India is one of the most preferred outsourced destination for Hollywood production companies. Right, the Indian studios has made a significant contribution to the blockbuster VFX, movies like Jungle Book, Avatar, Life of Pi, Doctor Strange, and many more. So through this course, you will learn how to develop VFX in a tandem with characters and stories. And you will also have to understand storytelling, cinematography, like camera work, and seamless integration of CGI plus action. And you can also have some flexibility to choose a career in television, film, and video games. And most of these courses are around 1,56,000. The previous course I forgot to mention was around 8 lakhs, the one on the screenwriting, but you get a refundable deposit of 1 lakh. And this one is around the visual effects is around 1,56,000. So now when we come to multimedia, the next multimedia course, that is film production and management, we see that film production, now people are all becoming, many known people are venturing into film production. Production is all about managing the film, the costing of the film and set, and giving the film the resources what they need. And our aim of this 3 years degree course is to develop the base of the students in filmmaking, and further take up in-depth real life scenario in production. So if you're very fond of cinema, film, film production and everything into the world of cinema, you can join this. And our program covers both technical and theory aspects related to film. So technical aspects we can see includes classical narrative structure, multiple camera filming, digital editing, and our theory aspects include filmmaking, history of Indian cinema, world cinema, media history, communication and social science. And you will be trained to think artistically and critically, and make films. So some of the main jobs you can do after doing the course on multimedia film production and management is you can become a director of a film, producer, editor, cinematographer. Cinematographer is the one who shoots the film, lighting and technician. So there's a lot of options for this course. Now, next multimedia course is film art. So the course is very well structured in such a way that you get hands-on experience on each of the process of filmmaking, which includes photography, editing, and sound designing. And we give more emphasis on aesthetic and creative part of filmmaking. So a script or a script or screenplay writer, director, casting director, choreographer, line producer. These are some of the jobs you can do after doing the course on multimedia film art. So all the multimedia courses are 3 years, full time, 6 semesters. Now we are coming to now we finish the multimedia courses. Now we will be coming to the Bachelor's of Management Studies, Event Management and Public Relations. So event management has now become very, very, trending, as there's so many, it's like it's increasing today in India. So many wedding functions, so many events, concerts, and it's definitely fascinating and thrilling profession. What do you mean by public relation? Public relation is nothing that you are promoting the celebrity or whoever the media or the personality, and you're part of the team. Or it can also be for any company also that you are promoting and you're part of the public relation team. So event management has become one of the most strongly emerging careers in India. Event management is considered to be fascinating, as I said, and it requires definitely a toil and energy because you are planning and managing everything from the beginning till the end. And industry experts see enormous job opportunities in this field. So a Bachelor of Event Management and Public Relation facilitates you to learn and know about events and entertainment industry at an early stage of your career. And you shall also, we ensure a robust foundation for an aspiring manager of the future generation. And and you also understand the important 5 stages of event management, which are research, design, planning, coordination, and evaluation. So I think that you can explore this course of event management. And the basic qualification is you have to be you have to pass 10+2 and your HSC examination from any stream. And admission can test will be on the basis of the interview and the entrance test. And for this the course fees is around 4 lakhs 23,000. So I'm sure you should think of exploring this course. Event management has a lot of scope, and it's a good job. You will learn a lot, and it's a good profession, I feel. So now when we will be coming to our undergraduate diploma courses. So most of the bachelor courses are for 3 years and they have 6 semesters. But undergraduate diploma courses would be of a shorter tenure and would be for less time. So the first one is undergraduate diploma in tourism management. So this is a full-time course, and this the course will be for 1 year, which will be from Monday to Saturday. The fees for this would be around 52,000. And as I said, if you're not very keen on taking up a 2-year or a 3-year course in tourism management, or bachelor's in tourism, we are offering you undergraduate diploma in tourism management, which is a full time. And for this, for eligibility, HSC or equivalent examination, and you will have a written test followed by an interview. So you would be taught the same thing. What is taught in bachelor's in tourism, but it would be just a shortened course which will be for 1 year. That is our tourism management. So if you love traveling and you want to explore, and say if you want to do just a diploma course in traveling, then definitely you can take up the tour management undergraduate diploma in tourism management. Our next course is undergraduate diploma in aspects of media and marketing, which is also short form of DAME. I think it's here. Yeah. So this is also a one-year course. So this course will help you to develop skills to design, plan, create. So say, as I was talking about the event management, here it also includes media and marketing. So if you're fond of media, you want to join the journalist, you want to become a journalist or join the industry, or advertising. So you can join this course. Um, with this course, you can create, implement, manage, and market events. If you plan to join the marketing sector itself, then you can take this diploma course, and you will get the scope of event in industry, learn how to manage events in a sustainable manner, and evaluate event outcomes. And as I said, that basic qualification would be HSC or equivalent examination, and the total fees would be 1,25,000. Next, we are coming to undergraduate diploma in event management and public relations. So it's the just a shortened version of the course of the event management program. So this is also 1-year program, and the fees would be around 79,000. And most of these undergraduate diploma courses, they just require you to be a HSC or a equivalent. You have given an equivalent examination, and you will definitely get a 1-year understanding of event management and public relations. And then you can explore other career opportunities you want. So next we come to undergraduate diploma in foreign trade management. And this course is for 1 to 1.5 years, while the other courses which I mentioned were all 1 year. This would be for 1 to 1.5 years. The total fees would be around 40,000. And as I said, that most of these undergraduate courses, they just require to be a basic class 12 pass out, and you will have a written test followed by an interview. So we see that now Indian economy is looking more vibrant with government's new initiatives for Make in India objectives and activities of foreign trade management. Has become more challenging, and it has opened a new era for unlimited opportunities for students having fair knowledge of managing the foreign trade practices. So in our course, we help to develop the ability and confidence to understand and practice your role in export, import, business, in national economy. Okay. And the last one was the custom clearance, freight forwarding, and logistics. So this course, as I said, would be a 1-year course, and it's just a shortened version of the bachelor course which is there. So these were some of the courses which um, I have spoken about. Any question, any doubts with regard to any course? We also have master's course, which you can think of taking it up later. In most of them, we have agri-business management, sustainable development and environment management. So apart from undergraduate, we also have postgraduate courses. Any questions so far? No questions?
The guest
Okay.
speaker has arrived, and I will type the
So
website's URL in the chat.
we will shortly be joined by Anagha Prabhu ma'am, who will orient you about the commerce courses. Any question?
I will write the website's URL in the chat box.
So can anybody, share which course would, which interested them? Any course which interested you? Anyone? No course interested you? I'm sure some course must have interested you.
Miss, can you explain CA course?
Please do fill up the registration form. So with the registration form, you will get your e-certificate participation for this program. NSDC coupon code, which I showed a video a while ago, which you can use to register and take part in the NSDC e-skill program. And also the career mentoring test, that is a psychometric test. We have put the link on the chat box, but in case if you're not able to fill here, you're not able to access the link, please do register. So on your email ID, you would also get the psychometric test link. So we have our speaker, Ma'am Anagha Prabhu here. So I would like to introduce her. Ma'am, you're here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have a question before I proceed. I have a question from someone, Aditi. What is the coupon code? So the coupon code is like a code which you have to enroll. So the video which I showed. So if you put that code, you can easily register to the NSDC e-skill program which we are offering. After which, if you take part in the program, you'll get a certificate. So with that code, you can easily register for the program. So for that, I had showed a video a while ago. Yes, Anugha ma'am, you're there, right?
Yes, Sayukta.
Hello.
Yes, Sayukta, I'm here. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible. I think Arsha has logged out of the meeting.
Anugha ma'am?
Yeah, I'm here only, Sayukta.
You're not audible, ma'am.
Arsha, we can hear her.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Hello.
Arsha, can you hear me? Because all of the students are able to.
Yes, miss. We can hear you.
Ma'am, are you facing audio issues? Ma'am, if
No,
you can
actually,
log out and log in back, maybe the audio may.
because all of the students are telling
I'm not able to hear you.
I'm audible to them. I'll try relogging again. Wait.
Okay, we have Anagha ma'am here. There was a technical issue. I apologize for the same. Ma'am,
Yeah, Arsha. Can you hear me now?
hello.
Hello. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Ma'am, we can hear you. I think it's
We
Arsha's
can hear you.
problem.
Okay.
Okay, I think I'm not able to hear anyone. I'll just try logging out.
Yeah, sure.
I'm not able to hear. Ma'am, actually, I think I'm not able to hear anyone, but um, I'm just logging out 1 minute and I would like to give a short introduction to you. Just 1 minute. I'm not able to hear. Hello?
Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
now you can hear me, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
There was
yeah,
some
sure.
audio issue from my end. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, can you make me the host or co-host so I can share my PPT as well later?
I'll just give you the access.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I had some audio issues. I apologize for the same. Sorry for that. I would just, while ma'am is sharing her screen, I would like to give a short introduction to her. So, ma'am, you able to share your screen?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes. It is my
Yeah,
pleasure and honor to introduce our guest speaker, Ms. Anagha Prabhu. She has done her CMA, Certified Management Accountant, from the Institute of Management Accountants, USA. She's a certified research analyst from NISM, National Institute of Securities Market, and has done her PGDM, Business Management, from Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies. She is an industry professional experienced in conducting audits of banks' treasury department, NBFCs, and in various manufacturing organizations. She has also worked with one of the leading insurance companies, HDFC Life. Currently, Anagha ma'am is serving as a board member and treasurer of Mumbai chapter of Institute of Management Accountants, USA. The suit mentorship is an initiative by her where ma'am guides and mentors students and professionals in their career. Over to you, ma'am.
thank you so much, Arsha, for such a lovely introduction. So, good afternoon to you all, and I'll be telling you and guiding you regarding what career prospects are there in the stream of commerce. So, let's first look at what is the scope in this particular stream. So, as we know that commerce is actually a backbone of the market and the economy of the country. and it has actually focused on all the economic part of the legal, social, political, technological, and cultural system. Like any stream, any activity you consider in your mind, commerce does play a role in into it. And also, this is such a stream where there are vast job opportunities. So when we think of commerce, there are two things which generally comes to one's mind, that is business and other is the banking. But if we look into detail, commerce is such a stream where there are ample of opportunities. It is a very vast area, and also there is a growing demand for it. So we look ahead exactly what are the prospects, and where you can make your career, you can find your area of interest in the stream. So whenever we enter into something, it is always better to keep a note of what industry trends are there. So here I've listed down 5 industry trends which are there. So whenever you're planning your career in particular area in a particular stream, so it'll always ensure that you're thorough with what trends are there and keep yourself updated. So at present in the market, if you see, there's a rise of e-commerce platforms. So traditional way of purchasing and selling has gone down, and now everything has been digitized. So Amazon, Flipkart, and everything, you can see all the websites have come up, and they are the booming business. So also job opportunities are a lot in ever rising in the e-commerce area. Second thing is surging demand for artificial intelligence. So you might have heard many people saying that in 10 years, people, many of them will lose a job because of artificial intelligence and so on. So what can be done about this? Firstly, there's some random statistics which says that 80% of commerce and science stream people will lose their job because of artificial intelligence. Well, I don't know where that statistics came from, and it is sort of not true, at least in the next coming 2 decades. But it is always better to keep yourself certified and updated. So if you are planning a particular professional course in commerce, then also ensure that side by side when you're in your degree college, in those 3 years, you also get some certification basis fintech or artificial intelligence. So definitely do it. Then increase in investment by foreign entities. So if you are thorough with the budget, which was recently released, so you can see that there is more percentile increase for foreign entities to invest in India. Definitely a golden period to come for the people in the stream. You can have ample job opportunities to work with MNCs. Well, professionals from all sectors are keen on investing in stock markets. So when you will be in your degree college, you will see that some of your friends have started investing in the stock market. Someone purchased shares, someone is dealing in debentures, and so on. So that is also an ever rising field in the commerce. And fifth one, and mainly most heard, new business operations and startups. So you can see young entrepreneurs setting up their startups and so on. So they need a lot of quality workforce and everything. So this is also an ever rising stream in the field of commerce. So a lot of demands, a lot of opportunities in this stream. So before we enter into what courses you can do and what are the departments, first let's look at what skills you require to strive and grow in this field. So the ones which I have mentioned on the left side, that is skills required. So this is a list. These are the skills which should be there in you if you are a commerce student, if you are a commerce professional. So the first two foremost important, and which you will have to carry the rest of your life, that's analytical skills and numeracy skills. So analyzing the balance sheet, doing credit analysis, risk analysis, interpretation. So everything needs analytical and numeracy skills. So even if you are planning to just do BCom and not any professional course, still these two skills are a must. Third one, communication and interpersonal skills. So any stream you select, any job you take up, even if it is a back office job which has less customer interaction, still communication and interpersonal skills are a must. And I strongly emphasize that you develop it in the coming years before landing upon an interview seat. Because if you take an example, there are several you can see outside who are doing big courses, making a successful career, have hundreds of certifications. But not everyone succeeds, not everyone reaches the CXO level. So what makes one person outperform the other? And that's communication and interpersonal skills. And the next three, which I've mentioned you. So we are always not going to be on a analyst role or an associate or an executive role. We want to grow. We want to be vice presidents, and CXO in the commerce stream. So these last three skills which I've mentioned, that is problem solving skills, leadership skills, and decision making skills. These three are required. Like the first three will land up you on a job, but the next three will take you ahead. So these 6 skills are must if you want to be successful in your career. Now, the ones which I've mentioned on the right, that is additional skills required for working in digitization. So this is basis the industry trends which I explained you before. So alongside these 3 years, I suggest you can take up any certification in data analytics, automation skills, content writing, testing and data collection, business intelligence mapping. So we can take example of how digitization works in commerce. So there's a particular vendor management system. Let's an example. So there's a vendor management system which is put into place where you have to manage the vendor deployment, onboarding till end of the execution. So now what, because of a lot of automation, we are not going to perform all the tasks. We have to just input the data and keep monitoring. So you need to have knowledge of commerce to input, but you need knowledge of artificial intelligence automation alongside to monitor. So I suggest that if you have all these 11 skills, wonderful. So now let's move on to the list of courses after 12. So once on the left side are the bachelorette courses. So I'll just read it out. That's Bachelor of Commerce, BCom, then Bachelor of Management Studies, Bachelor of Business Studies, Bachelor in Business Administration, LLB, and vocational courses. And on the right side, the professional courses which I have mentioned. On the next slide also, I have mentioned the ones which you can do after graduate. But these 5 are specifically mentioned after 12th because you can appear for these exams before you complete your graduation. Just that the certification and after completion of the relevant work experience, you will get certified by whichever professional course you take up. So if you have interest in audit and taxation and strategic financial management, you can go for chartered accountancy. Then if you're keen of getting into compliance, then the best combination would go be LLB and company secretary, or LLM and company secretary. That's a wonderful combination. And every big organization requires, there's a regulatory norm of having a compliance department. So ample of opportunities there. Then CMA India. So this is entirely into costing. So if you're keen to becoming a cost accountant, then definitely go for CMA India. Then CMA USA, which I have done, it is more into strategic management and management accounting. And CIMA, Chartered Institute of Management Accountants UK, is also same as CMA USA. But every country has its own accounting principles, and that's why the designations are also different. Like this is CMA USA following US GAAP, and CIMA UK following UK GAAP. So these are the courses. Find your area of interest and then choose a particular professional course. Don't go for something because your friends are going, or don't go for something because majority of your classmates or majority of your people from your friend circle are going, or your relative has done something. Well, don't do that mistake. Many of them do that, but I suggest that you rather analyze what are your skill sets, what are your interests, and then select one. Then this is the list of courses after graduation. So MCOM, MBA, LLM, and postgraduate programs like banking and finance, quantitative finance, and so on. My suggestion would be that you generally go for a full-time course instead of a part-time or a distance learning course, because full-time course has a lot of advantages. It imbibes a lot of skills in you. It helps you in personality development, and also it has a very, very good placement. Also in these 3 years, at times happens that we are not able to identify what we are good at or what we are interested in. So it's okay if you find something in degree college, it's completely fine. So MBA is a place where you can select your type. If you feel that you're interested in human resource, then you can go for MBA in HR. If you want to stay in finance, then MBA finance, business management, operations management, supply chain management, and so on. So there are ample of areas there. So you can select one of your choice if you are, if you land upon something you like in your degree college years. Then the courses which are mentioned on the right. So these are the ones, the exam of which you can appear only after you complete your graduation. And CFA level 1, you can appear when you're in your TY/BCom. So certified public accountant is as good as India Chartered Accountant. Just that, as I told you previously about CMA, that Indian accounting rules are different, taxation rules, laws are different. Similarly, US has its own set of laws and regulations. So obviously the qualifications are different. Then
मिस CMT भी भरना जरूरी है. एक फॉर्म हमने को दिया, सबमिट कर दिया.
Pardon?
What, miss?
Hello.
Hello.
Is anyone asking something?
Is there any question?
मिस ग्रुप पे एक लिंक आया था, हमने वो सबमिट कर दिया फॉर्म।
Okay,
अभी
okay.
जो CMT है उसको भी भरना है।
हाँ, all the links will have to fill.
Yes, miss. Thank you, miss.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. So this is also similar and it has various courses in it. Like if you go on the website, you will find something for strategic management, accounting, taxation. So there's a lot you can explore in this particular area. Then Chartered Financial Analyst and Financial Risk Management, which something I'll explain you in the next slide because it is related to a few specific departments majorly. So now these are the places where you can, get a good job in commerce area. And this is not just the confined list, like there are a lot more, but here on the slide I've mentioned 18. So there's first in commerce is corporate and retail banking, which we all well know from previously. Like, corporate banking is basically dealing with big business houses, MNCs, and so on. And retail banking is which what we do daily, like on an individual basis and so on. Now, second is investment banking. So if you all are aware with what is happening in the current stock market, you can see that there are a lot of IPOs which are coming. So IPO is basically initial public offering, the time when the shares of a company are first launched into the market. And it is a very big process. Like it requires, you require underwriters, investment bankings, and so on to be a part of it. So investment banking is an emerging career, and CFA, the one which I mentioned in the previous slide, Chartered Financial Analyst. So a lot of, the course of CFA has a lot to do with investment banking. So if you find your interest in, if you decide to that I want to go in investment banking, then I suggest that you definitely do CFA. And also CFA has a lot of demand in other areas as well. It is a wonderful course with a very high demand in India as well as in abroad. Third is stock market dealers. So whatever sale and purchase of shares we do. So we have stock market dealers at every securities offices, NBFCs, and so on. So it is an entire department which is there. Then fourth one is investment advisor. So where would you like to invest? All the analysis which is done. So there are investment advisors which are there, and this is also a rising demand career. Accounting and audit services. So accounting is something which is, we all know it is a major part of commerce and also subject in 11th and 12th. So accounting is there in every department. We call it finance and accounts. And in audit services, whatever processes an entire organization does, we have to analyze it, find the loopholes, and suggest better processes and corrections. So that is what I did. I was into audit. Sixth one is credit management. So this is one of the top emerging careers at present if you see in the market. So the loan which we give, the loans which banks give, and so before granting loan to any customer, may it be a high net worth individual or corporate or to a particular trust and so on, we need to actually analyze whether the particular person, the customer, can repay us the principal as well as the interest. Then what is their salary or what is their inflow, how is it, and how is their financial standing, liquidity, and so on. So this entire analysis has to be done, and organizations hire several credit analysts for it. So you can definitely try getting into this area. Now these things which I've mentioned in other points and the ones which I just talked about now are about the job perspective. But if we talk about business, then obviously it has everything to do with commerce. And when you're in a business, like in job, you can have knowledge much of what area you're working into and less of other areas. But when you're into a business, you need to know laws, you need to know entire commerce, accounting, and everything. So if you're doing a business on a domestic level or on an international level, may it be for providing of goods or providing of services, you need to have in-depth knowledge of commerce and also stay updated with the latest notifications. Then we have agency services, consulting, you can be a freelancer and so on. Financial consulting. So now when I talked previously about consultancy, it can be into operations as well and so on. So consultancy can be in any area. And 10th point is financial consulting. So you can specifically narrow your perspective, your scope of your job or your business, and you can get into financial consulting. Then risk management. So now in previous slide, I also skipped FRM, that is financial risk management exam. So risk management is a department, which is not set up in all the organizations now. It is an ever rising career as well. Like, there are several risks which are there: market risk, liquidity risk, operational risk, and so on. Like basically, there are financial and non-financial risk, and they have to be monitored, and a lot of loopholes have to be searched out and implemented, process implementation, and so on. So risk management is an ever-rising career, and if you're interested to go into that department, then surely appear for FRM exams to do that course. And also compliance. This is also there. This works along with risk management department in some organizations. Sometimes they work separately. So you can do your LLM, LLB, and company secretary for getting into this. Then the research and analyst. So you have heard about equity researches and so on. So this is also a rising career. Then tax advisory. So if you're interested in taxation, you want to make your career in it, then definitely I would suggest that you can do chartered accountancy and get into taxation. Like it can happen that you can set up your own tax firm, tax advisory firm. You can handle corporates, you can handle high net worth individuals, and so on. So it is a very fun activity. It is very interesting. Taxation is an interesting area. Fintech and startups. So fintech is a rising career. It is still, it is rising. It has not completely penetrated into the market. And so I feel that you can start getting certifications in it, as I mentioned in the third slide, in the industry trend. So, by the time you complete your degree, college, fintech is really going to be at rise. And if you already hold certifications and qualification in it, then definitely you will have a very high demand in the job market. Then startups are there. Startups will always be there. So this is startup is something which is never going to end. Businesses are always going to be set up, so you can work under someone. And working into a startup has its own advantages. Like when you work in an established organization, you just have to work for a particular area, so you get knowledge of a particular area only. But when you work with a startup, not just about that area, but you can get to learn multiple things because multiple tasks will be allocated to you. Then e-commerce, so obviously goes along with fintech. Then government. So if you want to make your career into government organizations, like you can appear for IBPS exams, RBI exams, then SBI exams also there, and so on. So and if you're already a chartered accountant, company secretary, or a CMA India, then there are certain waivers which are there. Like you can directly apply for deputy manager or manager post. I don't know exactly what status is there at present. I suggest that you go on their website and see what notifications they have. And also you can work with finance regulators as well. So that is also a wonderful career. Then wealth management and joint ventures. So now you can see there are a lot of projects which are coming, especially if you see in Mumbai, there are bridges, there are metros, and coastal road project and everything. So when such big projects are there which work for several years, so two big organizations join hands and they get into a contract. So that is what we call joint venture. So they come together for that particular project. And when such project comes up, there is a demand for engineers, finance professionals, laborers, and so on. So as a finance professional, you have a lot of demand, and I'm sure that there are a lot of projects emerging up soon in the future. Now, the most important thing, multiple qualifications and skills are preferred by employers. So just having a degree, a bachelorate degree, doesn't really help. Like, let me be very honest. This is today's reality. Like, if you go on Naukri.com and apply for a job, then chances are that you will see that 4,000 more people have applied for the same position. And this is not an over exaggeration. This is a reality. So how do you stand number one among the 4,000 people? Well, have multiple qualifications, upgrade your skills, and also one very precious piece of advice, have a LinkedIn account. Like now you're in junior college, so it's okay. In degree college, when you're in a second or your third year, ensure that you have a LinkedIn account. Even if you're a student, that's totally fine. Whatever certifications you get or whatever projects you make in college, like if they are on a PowerPoint or a Word file, you can definitely write on it. You can write your own articles on it. It gives you a better reach to employers. You come into the eyes of the employers, and chances are that you might land on a good job. So definitely make a LinkedIn account. It is a must. And all the employers these days directly go and check your LinkedIn account instead of checking your resume. So ensure that you have that. Keep yourself updated. And now we look on to a success story of one of the most well-known commerce professional, that is Mr. Aditya Puri. Like we all know, we all have heard about him, that he was the MD of HDFC Bank. He served till 26th October 2020, that is last year. So now let's take a short brief about his story. So he's a chartered accountant by profession, and he has started his career as a management trainee with Mahindra Limited in Mumbai. and later on he switched to Citibank, and there he worked for 21 years. So that is also a big thing. Like I see students these days who job hop too quickly. Like, they are not stable. People change their job in 6, 6, 7, 7 months. And see, for you switch for 3, 4 also. You can, you might try to adjust, or you might not like the job weather, or you might not like the work, and you may switch, and that's totally fine. But after a certain point, it is always advisable to be stable. Like I have seen people of 31 years also who are still hopping jobs. Like I know someone who switched 8, 9 jobs in 10 years, like from after completing their graduation at 21. They have switched 8 jobs, and that is not the right thing, because employers generally don't prefer people who are job hoppers. And Mr. Aditya Puri is a wonderful example of what can happen if you stick to your job and work hard and smart. So while working with Citibank, he got an opportunity to grow and work with 19 countries. So imagine like how well he was into his career and how he could do that. So he did CA because he was really passionate about it. He was passionate about his work. He knew what he liked. You can work for 6, 7 hours just because you have learned something and you are able to do it. But you can work for more hours and more productively if you like what you're doing. So this is the importance of passion. And the one in front of you is a result of being passion, doing hard work and smart work. So in 1992, he became the CEO of Citibank in Malaysia. And while working with Malaysia, Mr. Deepak Parekh, who was running the HDFC's housing bank company, contacted him and invited him to set up bank in India. And in 1994, Mr. Aditya Puri returned as the managing director of HDFC, and he served till 2020. So for becoming a CEO, his journey was for 21 years, but he enjoyed the position for 26 years. So imagine, so like his patience of hard work, smart work, these are the fruits. Like, imagine being a CEO and MD for so many years, and, being on the senior management, basically, it is a wonderful thing. And the bank was inaugurated by then Finance Minister of India, Mr. Manmohan Singh. So Mr. Aditya Puri is a wonderful example of what can happen if you really put your mind into something you're passionate about. And this is the importance of knowing and doing what you like. So thank you, everyone. And if you have any doubts, you can unmute yourself and ask me, or put it in the chat box. Or you can visit my website, www.thesuitmentorship.com. I mentor individually students as well as, finance professionals and other industry professionals. Or you can mail me at thesuitmentorship@gmail.com.
मिस CMT में बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस है, कैसे उसको सबमिट, टाइम ज्यादा जा रहा है.
Okay, I will address that a little later. Ma'am is for the now. I would just like to thank Anagha ma'am for coming on board and guiding the students with regard to the various career options in commerce. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat.
Yeah. So with regard to the career mentoring test link, try to give it today itself. It's no hard fast rule that you have to do it right now. But if you can give it by today, it would be good. So take your time and give the test. And as I put on the chat box that we have given in 3 languages. So whichever language you are comfortable, आपको जो भी language suit कर रहा है fill up करने में, मराठी, हिंदी या English, उस language में, उस भाषा में you fill up the form. So you don't have to fill up all the 3 language forms, only the language you feel comfortable filling in. Thank you. And yes, any questions to Anagha ma'am? Any questions? You can even put it on the chat box. No questions? Okay. I guess the students don't have any questions. So with that, I would like to end my presentation, our presentation program, and we close today's session. I would now like to thank each and every participant who have come today. A special thanks on behalf of University of Mumbai's Garware Institute of Career Education and Development, American India Foundation, and Dell Technologies to Anagha ma'am. It was a pleasure to have you come on board and share such knowledgeable information from your respective field. I would once again like to thank Dr. Suresh Nair, the principal of Vivek College, and the career mentor Jackson Nadar sir for giving us the opportunity to organize this workshop for you all. And On behalf of University of Mumbai's Garware Institute of Career Education and Development, American India Foundation, and Dell Technologies, I thank you all. And there's a question on the chat box. Ma'am, if I wanted to go in the field of banking.
Okay. So in banking, there are a lot of options. Like, if you want to get into government bank, then you can do the courses of, you can appear for the exam of IBPS. And if you want to get into SBI, you can appear for SBI exams or RBI. And if you want to get into banking back office, like, the few areas which I mentioned, like credit management, risk management, and, finance and accounts department of private banks and so on, and NBFCs as well. So that for that, you need to appear for professional exams. Like you can also go along with graduation but I suggest that you can go for MBA and professional courses that will help you land up on, your dream job and your dream.
Aisha has another question. So is it important to take IT?
IT is a bit different. Like when I talk about fintech, it is a mix of commerce, finance, and IT. When you say IT totally entirely into IT, then that goes into a totally different area. Like you can talk about data analytics, business intelligence. So basically, there should be an overlap. There should be an element of finance in the certification you're taking. If you are interested totally into science, into IT, then that's a different issue. But if you're getting into commerce, then do something which has an overlap of things. And like you can do blockchain certification, artificial intelligence. So there are so many things which has an overlap.
Any other questions? Okay, no questions. No more questions, right? Okay, so on behalf of University of Mumbai's Garware Institute of Career Education and Development, American India Foundation, and Dell Technologies, I thank you all and wish you best for the future. Have a great weekend. Thank you.